All right, guys, if you guys don't know, we are shooting a video about a little bit of testing we've been doing in the Dark Dimension. We've taken the PimTech team into Dark Dimension 3, and I was a little shocked about what they were able to do, and we're going to talk about, is this team going to be the solution for Dark Dimension 4? And they might be. And so we're going to talk about this really, really quickly and go into what was happening here. So this is Node 7, and you guys know Node 7 is probably one of the most challenging nodes that we face. It is overtuned. You've got multiple Phoenixes on there. So taking Phoenix in, cloning Phoenixes have always been an option. But this time we take them in without Phoenix, and we actually we bring in the PIM team. So if you guys notice, we brought Emma. Emma is actually potentially somebody who we're theory crafting about being a potential fifth character. But again, we're gonna talk a little bit about why this team might be designed for the way they envision us doing Dark Dimension 4. And so as we get more information, we'll make some more recommendations. But the biggest recommendation right now is to hold all gear, especially because we heard about some new mutants, well, specifically a new mutant and a member of the X-Force showing up. We'll see what tags they wind up with as we get closer and closer to patch day. So right here, right now, we got a nice little, it's a nice start over here, and we actually get all the way through, and you guys will see that we actually control Phoenix. The stuns, they don't do a ton of damage, but they're actually able to control the field. The stuns, extending the ability block, and there's another game I play online. You'll see all of these things happening, and then able to prevent them from Psylocke from bouncing those negative effects. We've got multiple characters stunned, ability blocked, everybody's slow, and we get really, really deep into the last wave until we get a single one shot from a retaliatory strike from a Colossus, takes it out with 9 out of 38. That's actually a pretty decent run. A lot of folks, that's actually one of those things where we have it. So we're talking a little about that because they might actually be the team of the future here. But we were able to do something that surprised everyone. Okay, so one thing we did over here is we were able to go, and this time we brought a different team. Okay, this time we brought Ghost, Sinister, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Emma Frost. And this time, 2 skill characters. This time, they were able to fully control it all the way through to the end. Got a little hairy there a few times, but once we started getting those debuffs, we were able to clone, obviously, Shuri, Phoenix. We had multiple Phoenixes with us. So again, it's not like we're reinventing the wheel here. However, one thing I will tell you is we actually got to the point where I'm going to make some ISO suggestions with the way we tested this. These guys get all the way through. We actually had to stop it. They get through to 3, and they would have finished it off relatively easily. That would have been a one shot for Node 7, something that a lot of people have accomplished. So pretty cool team over here. We'll go into more details on it, but that is what we're looking at over here. And so as a result, we actually have some recommendations for the PimTech team. Let's talk a little bit about the actual team that I was using. So as you guys know, I have taken the pledge until Yellow Jacket comes out, until we get the full team in a Dark Dimension, test them out, and see if they offer all the control we think they will. We've actually brought left Ghost and Stature unupgraded because we want to have a more representative character. 5 red, 5 star, still very powerful, but not quite as powerful as they would be if they were 6 red, 6 star. So we've kind of held back. I know it's really hard to not click that button, but you'll notice we've actually added some of the ISOs here. We're going to talk about the ISO recommendations. Ghost absolutely is one of the best strikers in the game. Her rewind is a control element. It is absolutely going to be one of the keys you're going to be using. And the thing we found was a couple of quick things. there's all those offers there. A couple quick things were because the Ant-Man was doing the assists, and now that when he assists, he actually strips those buffs. It was important. We actually added Skirmisher on Stature. Now, Stature got what we like to call the Ebony Maw treatment. Because every one of her abilities actually interacts with the enemy team, it was actually helpful to get through things like Taunt, so we can start applying debuffs. We actually made Wasp a Raider, because having those multiple debuffs when she did crit on multiple targets was allowing us to make sure that Ghost was able to rewind targets as needed. So probably where we're going to be in the final recommendation. I bought him level 3, didn't fully max him, just wanted to have a little bit of control. They're not a high damage team. A lot of what they're doing is powered through drains. But we're going to talk a little bit about the other element of this that's going to probably be the biggest challenge. If these guys are the solution for DD4, it's because they have a lot of T4s. Okay, that's the big difference. Obviously, this 100% chance to counterattack is actually good. It stopped a lot of the high damage chains into the target here. This is the quantum explosion was the extra health, and again, like I said, it was definitely something that was just the 350% damage plus the extra health drain was actually pretty good. The 5% health, again, they're not very hardy characters, but it was just, the overall damage being done. Now, Stature, the standing tall, while I don't think it's necessary per se, the focus was important to be able to overcome some of that, and they actually have a ton of focus in Dark Dimension. But more importantly, this here for the ability energy, this was definitely making it so that she could actually power up Ghost, so she could do her damage every turn. Now, something about this, I don't know that I see the immunity for 2 turns. If so, this is 4 or more. So this is the problem we have is if you're not bringing the full 5, don't bring this in. And the same thing, they had a hard time getting started on certain nodes, and I think that's going to be the problem you have, because again, this is going to be for the whole squad here. So they're trying to justify these T4s, and like I said, unless we see that as the final composition for the nodes, that's where you're going to want to probably just pause for a little bit and think about how they're affecting. Now, we're going to go over some things that were happening that were very specific. Remember, Ghost is not the real power of quantum explosion, is not the health drain or the damage that it does. It's the fact that it prolongs all negative effects on each target by 1. So what we're seeing with Dark Dimension 4 specifically, now that the data mine information, thank you to all the data miners with your due diligence. I appreciate everything you guys do and the infographics that come out and help us digest all of this and all the tools and resources that are out there. The biggest thing about all of this is the fact that things like ability block, things like blind, things like stun, but specifically we're going to talk about stun and ability block, because these are the abilities that you're going to want to extend that are going to prevent these characters, 1 or 2 per wave, depending on the way the wave's set up, from performing their skills every turn. And a lot of these skills, if left unchecked, could be devastating for you and your squad. So the idea behind that is this is a full control team that is going to that you're going to need to get used to. It actually, while tiresome, the more time I've spent with them in the Dark Dimension as a full 4-piece squad, the more I've gotten to learn how these abilities interact, and the more appreciation I have for the nuance of this team. And that's the big difference here, and how I hope it's going forward here. So that is what we're looking at from a perspective of their performance. So there is a little bit of hope out there that these guys will be able to hold their own in the global and maybe even the starting position. But the drawback with this, and you guys will see this, we actually have a gear calculator for you. It'll be in the description below. You guys can see that we made a video on how to use it. We'll actually have the link to the video so you guys can follow that. So you guys can start building up gear for the squad and help determine that. In addition to that, we'll probably be making some additional notes as we find more and more teams viable. We're going to be doing some more testing. If indeed Yellow Jacket is out in the next day or so, which it seems like he might be shaping up to be, we'll be taking him up fully loaded, fully ready to go into Dark Dimension 3, so we can see if this Pimtech team can hold their own against Node 7, 8, and Global. All right, guys, hope to see you guys on Twitch. Remember, I do things so you guys don't have to. I'm about to get really nutty with the Pimtech squad. See you again soon. Love you much.